Shalom, welcome back. First and foremost, I want to give all glory, praises, and honors to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and salutations to you Acumenists pushing His word in sincerity and in truth. Back with another video. Was listening to the apostle Rakah a minute ago. Title of the video is "It's Here, Brothers." If you haven't subscribed to the elders page, GMS Last Stand, please do so. And that video prompted me to find a couple news articles through the Spirit. And I'm going to go through them rather quickly and read a couple precepts because hey, it's the perfect title. It's here, brothers. Esau Edom is pushing this agenda harder, and he's about to go into the second level of this thing. I'm going to bring out a couple articles to show you what I mean. All right? Things are going to get turned up and kicked up to another notch. So spiritually prepare yourself mentally what's coming. All right, because we got to prepare ourselves, prepare ourselves for that time when we're really going to be separated from this society, and they're already starting to do this in other countries, which is a prelude to what's to come here in AKA America, right? And if you brothers are experiencing this in other countries who may be watching this video, hey, please, speak on it. But the first article is from AP. It says Austrian leader says lockdown for unzombified is likely, right? It says Austria's chancellor on Thursday stepped up threats to lockdown measures for non-zombified people as new cases in Alpine nation are soaring. The country's worst affected province said its plans to take the step next week. Austria has taken a series of measures in recent weeks in an effort to curb the spread of the zombie V and encourage more people to get the zombie juice. Right? Slovakia. It says on Monday, new rules took effect barring non-juice people who haven't recovered from an infection from restaurants, hotels, hairdressing salons, and large public events. So yeah, like I said, he is turning up the fire on those that's going against and bucking his system, man. All right, and it's not just gonna happen in these countries in Austria. It's not because I got one about Germany and I got one dealing with Israel. It's not just gonna happen in these these places outside of the U.S. of A. It will happen here. All right, they're preparing this now. Sleepy Joe came out with an edict saying that all employers, even ones under 100 employees, must push the mandate of the juice, right? So the heat is on, and your back is going to be up against that proverbial wall, right? Chancellor Alexander Schallenberg said late last month that the unjuiced people in Austria would face new restrictions if infection numbers continue to rise, which they have. And all right, because if you're unjuiced, you're going to be what? The scapegoat, man. You're going to be the blame. And it's all part of, like I said, it's all part of prophecy, and it's all part of an agenda. On Thursday, official figures showed 760 reported new cases per 100,000 residents over the previous 7 days, a rate 3 times that of the neighboring Germany, where record numbers also are causing alarm. It says during a visit Thursday to Bregenz in western Austria, Schallenberg said the lockdown for the unjuiced is probably unavoidable, and that the unjuiced face uncomfortable winter Christmas. The Austria press agency reported uncomfortable, and that's what it's really about. The beast system that's being ready to be established on the earth is about making you uncomfortable if you do not want to bow the knee and capitulate to Esau Edom, man, and his edicts and his mandates. You see, that is what's being set up before our eyes. Now, the first scripture I'm going to get is Revelation 12:12. It says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. So this is not going to stop. It will only intensify, because prophecies must be fulfilled. Right? It says, I don't see why 2/3 should lose their freedom because 1/3 is dithering. And that's spiritual right there. If you understand the scriptures and you understand the significance of the 2/3 versus the 1/3, in this scenario, the 2/3 are the ones they're talking favorably about, right? Which is a majority of the world, versus the 1/3, the resistors, which they're talking bad about. Now, this is just what's going on in Austria, but if you think of that about that referring to the nation of Israel, it's going to be the same thing in these end times, man. If you stand up and take a stand with Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, get ready to be demonized. It says, Schellenberg said, for me it is clear that there should be no lockdown for the Jews out of solidarity for the unJews. Upper Austria province, the country's worst affected region, with nearly 1,200 new cases per 100,000 residents over the past week, said Thursday that it plans to take the lead. Officials there plan a lockdown for the unjuiced people from Monday, right? Provided there is a legal green light from the federal government. So they're setting new precedents. They're setting new standards to be rolled out in unification of this beast system. That if you're not if you're not plugged in, if you're not juiced in, if you're not eventually chipped in, you're going to be on the outside looking in. It says the federal government creates the legal basis, Governor Thomas Stelter said. Schellenberg said authorities would consider a zombie juice mandate for some professional groups. He added that the country's juice rate is shamefully low. About 65% of the population is fully, juiced up. So they're angry about that. They're mad about that. So what are they going to do? Intensify. Work the numbers, cook the books, to do what? To push this agenda. So let's go to the next article. This is interesting. Israel holds war games to prepare for more lethal zombie strain. So it never stops. It says Israel on Thursday began a nationwide drill to test its readiness in the event of an outbreak of a new, more lethal strain. The exercise war game over 3 sessions to simulate the passage of time after a potential flare-up will test the resilience of systems and determine lockdown policies, monitor variants, offer economic support, right? We always bring out universal basic income is coming, right? To support citizens and enforce quarantines and watch border crossings, right? So this is in the mix. This is all in the mix, regardless of where you're at. It's coming to a doorstep near you. This is Ephesians 5:15. See that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understand what the will of the Lord is. Right? So we got to understand and be mentally prepared what Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is doing. He's turning up the fire underneath these world leaders to come push and create this new world order, right? Let's keep going. It says, while the situation of the CV, right, in the world is deteriorating. Let me read it again. While the situation of the CV in the world is deteriorating, Israel is safe and protected. Prime Minister Naftali Bennett said in a statement. In order to maintain this and to safeguard the continuity of normal life, we must continue to closely monitor the situation and prepare for any scenario. So they're not doing this for any no reason, man. They're working through their agenda. They're working through their master plans. You see, more lockdowns, more enforced quarantines, more paying the citizens. Why? Because they're going to close down business and stores and destroy the economy. Hey, this is all in the works. All right, so get ready. The number of serious seriously ill Israelis suffering from the juice. The zombie V dropped from around 700 at the end of August to 149, right, November 10th. While the number of daily new infections fell from around 10,000 a day to just 500. So if it's going down and you're supposedly doing everything right, why are you wargaming? It will be my question. Israel opens its doors to fully juiced up tourists this month, even as experts call for the implementation of tougher safeguards, right? It's also preparing to juice 5 to 11-year-olds against the zombie V. So yeah, hey, this is where we at, man. These countries are stepping up and stepping on. And if you're not with them, you're going to get rolled over. All right? But you knowing this gospel, you having faith in this truth, you're trusting in Yahweh Shem Shai is going to prepare you, as it tells you in the book of Isaiah, wisdom and knowledge shall be what? Our stability. You see? And let's hit this real quick. This is in Germany. Hits record new zombie cases in 24 hours. Germany registered a record 50,196 new zombie infections Thursday, according to health authorities. It is the first time Germany has exceeded 50,000 cases since the beginning of the pandemic, and come as infections and deaths have soared since mid-October. Outgoing Chancellor Angela Merkel has described the rise in infection as dramatic. The pandemic is returning in a new spectacular fashion, her spokesperson said, calling on regional authorities to take further steps to quell the outbreak. Pressure is also building on hospitals in an outbreak blamed on Germany's relatively low rates of juice, over 67%. Right? And I remember Fauci saying that once they got to 70, which that's close to 70, everything would be all good. Right? Everything would be all good, but you know, we know they always have to move the goalposts. It will get to 80, then 90, 95%, and guess what? It still won't be good enough, right? Because like I said at the beginning, this is an agenda. Several of the worst hit states, including Saxony, Bavaria, and most recently Berlin, have introduced new restrictions aimed at the non-juiced. We just read about that in where? Austria. So don't be mistaken that it's not coming here. Because right now in certain places in the US of A, you have certain freedoms, right? Even if you haven't been juiced. But soon, right, they're going to roll in the same type of edicts and mandates where you're really going to feel that second-class citizen, motive getting rolled down. It says, who have been the first to be affected the rebound in cases, right? As of Monday, Berlin will ban unjuiced people from entering restaurants, terraces, bars, sports halls, and hairdressers. Sounds similar to what? Austria. Over 4.9 million people have been affected of the zombie V in Germany since the beginning of the pandemic. Right? So let's keep going. Let's get this in the second Esdras and end this off. The second Esdras 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh. One people shall stand up and fight against another, and sword with swords in their hands. So you're gonna have civil war, right? Violence, protests, uproars from people in these countries having their rights taken. All right? You're going to have government and military enforce these edicts and mandates, and you're going to have a backlash. So you're going to see all these prophecies come to pass in these times. It says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city, and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and man shall be afraid. So we're coming and entering into these times because you got to understand these lockdowns, these mandates are only going to lead to crushing and ruining and destroying even faster the world's economies. All right, that's what this is really going to be about. Because just because they're banning the unjuice, the people that took the juice, you're gonna see what happens. You're gonna see what happens to them next. You see, so it's a never-ending story. It's meant to play out this way, and they're setting up the unjuice mainly to take the blame for what's happening. Even though, even though we understand and we know that this is an agenda, and we understand that this is a rollout, and we understand whom it's coming from. All right, but that's the point. I didn't ramble on long enough. I want to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and Shalom the next time.